We're back, people, and today we're bringing up film on the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Jaguars in week 1. Was definitely not the best performance from the group, but they clutched up when it mattered, came away with this win. Thank God, definitely super happy about that. It was a very inconsistent day for most offenses around the league. The Dolphins actually came away looking pretty good statistically as a passer out there, even though they definitely had a slower day. It is things that they can work on, and it was really like across the board, like looking at it. Like the offensive line, I actually thought on review weren't as bad as I originally thought during the game. They struggled running the ball early on, creating a push, but then at the end they had some big plays, specifically with Jeff Wilson, so shout out to the O-line. And then pass protection, they did better than I expected. It wasn't perfect, but they held up, especially on some of the bigger plays. I think McDaniel had some frustrating play calling that I definitely didn't agree with, but realistically, I would like to see him throw less screens, which I think he will, but I think against that really good, the Jags D-line is very, very good. I think that's a big reason, like, you're seeing some of those negative plays, like, you got to give credit to them. I think the reason he threw so many screens was to slow down that Jags pass rush, and I think it did help on some of those bigger plays, especially when Tua had to get to his second read. I thought we had too many mistakes that can be worked on, drops, too many penalties that killed drives. They left a lot of points on the field, still came away with, winning. Jags did some interesting things on offense. I think you can definitely see that they missed not having more receivers. That's why they brought in guys like OBJ, and they're missing River for sure with what they did, and we'll look into that. And I think when it came to Tua had a weird day because I thought he kind of struggled with some of the things he's usually very good in, and like actually made big plays. Like the biggest plays came off things Tua usually didn't do last year, so that's really, really good signs. And he looked more agile. I think was one of the biggest positives in this game is Tua looked a little more athletic, which definitely helps out. So we'll start breaking down some of this film. Play 1 here to Achane, getting him in the ball out on the perimeter. This was like the first positive play of the game. It was like a 3rd and long. It was already 3rd and 13. They threw their first screen. Obviously, don't mind it on like 3rd and long situations like this. And Achane, you just really just showing this just to show off how good of a player he is, man. Like his burst combined with like his fluidity, he's just so smooth, hard to get a clean hit on, breaking tackles. Hopefully he's good because I feel like towards the end of the game he might, like in his last touch, he might have looked a little limpish off the field. So hopefully he's good, and hopefully when we're facing maybe a lesser D-line, O-line gets a little more cohesion in the running game, everyone can see more success there. Then after that, we're still on the first drive. Dolphins get this, 3rd down situation. It's like a 3rd and 8. And they actually get a decent look that they want here. Jags ran a decent amount of cover 1 from what I noticed. They ran a lot of cover 1 robber here. Look like they might run cover 2 man. He, rocks down to be like a cover 1 robber. He gets Tyreek Hill one-on-one, but Tyreek just doesn't get open. The guy plays the deep vertical. There was really no chance there. No one else is really open across the board. Like, they have the robber taking away the tight end there. That's locked up. Barrios is falling down. Like, nothing's open. So Tua does take his one-on-one. I like the read. It's just there was nowhere really to go with the ball. And this is like kind of the situation I'm talking about. Waddle wasn't on the field in this one, but this is like, I kind of feel like where you're missing having other good receivers. I think that lack of receiver depth really hurt versus the Jags in these situations because they were not afraid to play some man-to-man, and their corners were really focusing on playing some of those deep routes that Tyreek wasn't able to just get over the top vertically like that. So that was kind of one of the situations. And then here they go for it on the 4th and 8. This is the first one they kind of don't get. I like the motion out of the backfield with this, like Barrios having him lined up as a running back and then getting him a good angle here. But no one really comes up open on this side. They do the same thing. They run one robber, but they're cheating this safety to this side of the field. Nothing's really open over here. Tua comes off of it, tries to, he sees this one robber. He sees him coming across. He hopes he goes with Waddle there, but he sits on it. So this is a good play by the safety. Don't mind that Tua tries to go here. Ball should be out already, though. I think he's a little bit late getting back to it and then gets it there. You want to see Barrios make this catch, obviously. Like, it's a good play by the safety. Ball's slightly late, and it's a tough play for Barrios to make. You obviously want to see him hold on to that. But just overall, just some more, slight mistakes across the board. You can see some of the problems when it comes to the lack of receiver depth there because, Waddle's kind of getting taken away from over the top, and then the robber makes a very good play. They ran a lot of one robber, which I think the Dolphins can usually take advantage of, and I think it will be a situation they're pretty good against for the most part. Jags just did a decent job. This was one of Tua's rare misses deep. Dolphins actually get a look that they want here. Like, they have Tyreek Hill running like the deep corner, and like because they get that one robber look again, this guy's sitting over the middle of the field. They're trying to take away. Like, the Dolphins did not run a lot of their better runners. They didn't really run the seam rail slide RPO that much. They ran it a few times. and they didn't run a lot of these quick in breakers or those in breakers in that 15 to 20 yard range, because the Jaguars were trying to take it away, and this was how they kind of went after it. They ran a lot of things, started to outbreak, and they had some success. Here was one where they should have had it, running that deep corner because it beats the safety and the corner. Tua has to throw real early, obviously, so he's throwing it before Tyreek even breaks, because 33 is kind of coming in unblocked. Angled kind of whiffs his block there. So definitely, would have liked to see a little bit more held up front, but Tua with one of his rare misses deep. And, deep misses are going to happen. I think Tua kind of made up for this. Didn't really have any more misses deep after the fact. If you look at week 1 last year when he threw for 466 and had up multiple deep plays, he actually missed a few early on in that one too. So I think, just settling in. Obviously, offense didn't get too many reps in the preseason. I think they'll definitely look better as the season goes on. So, and this was just a gritty win, man. I love seeing the toughness. I feel like Dolphins get pinged as a soft team. I feel like for going against a tough Jags D line and kind of having a slow start, they really showed like a mental toughness. I think they played physically tough, clearly made big plays. Shout out to the defense. I'll break them down tomorrow. Here, I just wanted to show this because this was just more of the mistakes. Like, this is a 2nd and 11, 2nd and 10 situation. Tua gets the ball. Nothing's really open. They kind of struggled to get open in a lot of these situations early on in routes. Tua escapes, and you can see he definitely looks more athletic. Him to get out of the pocket like this and run. Now, Robert Jones holds here. This is the problem. They end up getting a holding call. It's not a super big one. Like, it was a kind of a weak call, but it's getting called because he tugged. Like, he's good position. He just needs to let go right there. He let go probably just a fraction of a second too late, and it gets called for a hold. But this is the biggest thing here is Tua looking good. Being able to pick up first downs on like second and 11 situations like that when nothing's open and teams playing man-to-man more than expected. This is a big thing to have. So, like, this is a way to beat man-to-man now is Tua being a little more elusive. And now when you get OBJ back, Craycraft, Malik Washington didn't play this game either. And, Jonnu Smith gets more comfortable within the offense. Like, you're going to have people that can get even more open. Tyreek and Waddle will obviously get open at times as well. That will be ways to beat man, and then teams would be less likely to run it. And here's just sort of like the drop situation. They run their seam rail slide RPO. They actually get a decent look. And this was just the problem in the game. Like, 1st and 10, and Durham Smythe had a rough game. You get him the ball, Durham Smythe catches this. He at least falls forward and gets about 5, right? Like, but he drops it. They get nothing. This is like plays that just hurt drives. They had penalties, kill multiple drives, take away points. They had drops like this, hurt drives. Definitely just very disappointing. Later on in this drive, this was a play call I didn't like from McDaniel, and obviously not the best running concept. I like the motion getting H-N in the backfield. I love all the wrinkles, stuff like that. And this is just a great play by the Jags defense too. But running the ball on a 3rd and 3. This is a 3rd and 3 situation. They know they're going to go for it. It just kind of just didn't give our offense too many chances, and we knew we weren't running the ball well at this point. They try to get like the counter action going here. They're pulling the guard to kick it out. Jones, like 44, just makes a really good play. Trayvon Walker taking Robert Jones. He didn't even do that bad. Julian Hill then kind of gets caught up from this because Walker wins his rep, so he's not able to kick out either. And then the linebacker is able to just make a good play. 23, being patient, scraping across, and it wasn't even like blocked up that bad. Like, if you look at this side, like, it actually blocked up pretty good. Like, with Austin Jackson and Eichenberg, they pushed down a lot. Look at how much space they created here. Like, Jackson pushed the hell out of that guy. It's actually blocked up pretty well on this side. They cut this up. If Jones was able to kick him out and get on this side of the player, it actually would have been a pretty good play. So play calling and then just not perfect execution from the O-line definitely helped hurt this. And then they go for it on 4th and 3. Next play. This one was a little different. They ran cover 1 rat here, which, one robber means there's going to be a safety play in the middle of the field. And I think when he sees this guy rotate down like this, I think Tua expects 1 robber. I think he doesn't think he's playing man-to-man here. I think for a split second, Tua is thinking, he's just trying to take away this throwing lane here. So he stays patient. Once he clears it, then he's going to throw it. Tua doesn't see the linebacker who's the rat. Like, that means 1 rat is just like the linebacker is playing that underneath zone, trying to just read eyes. And he does a good play here too, getting out there. This slows it down. Once this guy squeezes here, this is where the ball should go. It probably wouldn't have been completed anyways because Barrios wasn't really open. And then the linebacker gets the hand on it, 4th and 3. And then if you look at the backside, like, no one was open again. Like, they just struggled to get open. I don't even know what Tyreek's doing. Like, I feel like Tyreek Hill wasn't even running a route here. Like, he just gave up. Smith probably was because Tyreek drifts too far in his route too. If he's just supposed to break right here, he drifts too far because he's kind of in the lane of Jonnu Smith. Jonnu actually, maybe if you throw to Jonnu on his break, that's like the best chance of getting completed here. But Tua is not looking at that side of the field, obviously. And he just, another drive kind of ruined. There was the drop, there was the play calling, not the good execution. And then 4th and 3, no one really gets open. Tua doesn't make the best read. And, that's kind of how drives were getting killed. And that was kind of the nature of that game. This was the start of the first touchdown drive where they kind of started turning things around. Good job pass protecting up front. Tua's got time. Doesn't really have his looks down the field, so he dumps it off to Achane. Look how good Achane is, man. Achane, you get him the ball in face, he's going to make people miss. Absolutely great job stopping on a dime. Boom. Contact balance. Instantly accelerate. Just super, super impressive. Love, love, love. Love this orbit motion, too. Like, definitely interesting, like, how this play started. Because if you see Smythe, I kind of missed, like, he goes out initially, and then he pivots back to the orbit motion. So I love all the different motions. They didn't do anything too crazy this game. They had some wrinkles that I'll get into that I really liked, but nothing too crazy compared to last year. So we'll see if McDaniel ends up pulling anything out. Just want to show this play, just because with the motion, everything is flowing this way. Tua's thinking, yeah, it's man-to-man with how these guys are playing it. This linebacker hard commits with his highs, and then Tua feels this. So once Tua feels like hard commit with that, like, and he knew pre-snap that he was really the only one in the middle of the field like that. So he's just going to take off. Guys block it up pretty decently up front, and Tua's taking off. Love this ability. Love him taking off more. Obviously, don't want to see him get hit. He slides, gets 10 yards, like 11, 10 yards on play. Great. Absolutely perfect. Really, really good stuff. Here's another third. This is a third down conversion. Nice third down conversion. Dolphins started running some more of these stuff that were like outbreaking or more to the perimeter, so these teams couldn't just have safeties either. Because they were either playing one robber where the robber was coming downhill to like make a play over the middle, or they were playing like a cover 2 and the safeties were sitting down on things to break. But here, look at the throw from Tua. Love the anticipation. He's throwing it as Waddle's about to break. Waddle takes a hard inside release. Waddle getting this much separation, because you look at the guy has outside leverage. For this guy to have outside leverage, Waddle to release inside and get that much separation just on a quick speed out is insane, by the way. Like, receivers should not be able to do this. That's just how special Waddle is. And for Waddle and Tua just to be on the same page for how quickly Tua threw it, and on the outbreakers. And I feel like Tua, obviously not going to have the strongest arm, but I do feel like his velocity on these outbreakers definitely looked better in this game. Like, I feel like a little bit better, which obviously helps the offense out a lot, because being able to throw outside the numbers a little bit more consistently will help out. And that's kind of what helped this drive. Like, that's what led to this drive. First touchdown, it helped with this one too. You motion Tyreek back across. Another third down and conversion, this time like a 3rd and 5. You get Waddle and Tyreek on the same side of the field. Tyreek absolutely takes this guy out of his shoes, but they're playing 2-man this time across the board. Dolphins kind of struggled versus 2-man. And you got to be able to throw this, getting the motion to make this corner play off and throw it downhill. Love the anticipation from Tua. Throws it quick, gets it with really good placement to the outside shoulder of Tyreek, so this guy doesn't have a chance. And then Tyreek almost stays on his feet and scores here, which would have been insane. And then this drive obviously ended with the 1-yard rushing touchdown from Achane. Nothing really to break down there, but just wanted to show it. But that's good stuff. And then, yeah, the fake toss. This came back into the Dolphins red slot last year. It was like the fake dive, fake zone read, and then turn to the toss going this way. Dolphins ran it a few times. This one was unfortunate because they got a holding call here that pretty much probably didn't matter from Robert Jones. Right here, 65. He just has no like once he's here, like, don't pull him down. Like, you're in a decent spot, just hold your position. He throws him down, and then he still holds on, which ends up getting the holding call. Would have been a big play, and this was another drive killer because they didn't do anything after this. Chosen actually does a good job here cracking down in the D end. They get the edge. Look at Julian Hill out in space, taking on the corner, and then Armstead on the DB. Like, they absolutely put these guys on the ground. I mean, poor those guys, man. Getting taken out of the play like that, getting Armstead and Julian Hill, definitely not great. But love seeing this in the rotation. I just wanted to show this because once it killed a drive, and it was another like mistake that kind of hurt themselves, where they shoot themselves in the foot when it was unnecessary. It was like a hold that didn't matter. Like, Moser was already gone. The guy had no chance of making a play. Plus, I just wanted to show that running concept because I actually think it helped for some of the bigger plays, as we'll see in a second. This one, though, a little bit different. I love the fake toss. Love the play action. I think offensive line, a lot of credit. I think running that toss earlier, obviously this one's a little bit different, just a straight up toss. I love the play action from the tosses. I think it really slows down the pass rush. Look how it slows down the pass rush, and look at the aggressive sets from everyone too, by the way. Liam gets engaged instantly, so it looks like they're almost run blocking how they get off the ball. Liam gets engaged instantly. Brewer gets engaged instantly. These guys are all flowing, like sliding. Austin Jackson gets engaged instantly. Now these guys are engaged. Even if they're able to stack and shed, it just takes them so much longer to get off the block now. And Tua does a great job. This is where I think he showed a great improvement. Love a little bit of a pump fake here too. Usually he would throw this, and it wouldn't be that bad of a throw. Like, if he throws it right away, like if he throws it right before he breaks when he usually does, it probably gets completed, but he has a chance of getting blown up by this safety. Tua showed great patience. This is something Mike said him and Tua worked on. Clearly, this was something they saw in film, and it was definitely apparent last year. And the Dolphins did this a whole bunch where they would have the first read open, but then the deeper crosser, like the deep post, deep cross over the top of it. And they get cover two. This is cover two. Maybe versus quarters, this doesn't work because this corner can gain depth and take this away. So that's something to watch out for. But once this safety, hard bites with the Tua play fake, and great job by the O-line giving time play. Loved seeing that. You can just see the pocket movement and like to move people as well. Love his ability, manipulation, all of those types of things. That's just a huge, huge play from Tua Tagovailoa. Now this drive didn't end up really working out for them. Like this was the initial play. Jaguars just blow it up. They go for that toss like I was talking about. The fake zone read toss just gets instantly read. 94 shoots in the backfield. Jones, I think Jones just kind of whiffs him. Robert Jones had a tough day, honestly, especially as a run blocker. But he kind of just whiffs him, or maybe he thought the center was going to cut him off or something. But he's out of the play. Brewer gets up and cuts his guy off. Actually, you can see the athleticism there from Brewer. Brewer and Armstead are in a good position. Jackson and Eichenberg are on the backside of this play. Not super necessary, but they're not really the big culprits. They do that motion to the inside where they motion Hill inside like a step. Chosen isn't a tough ask. He's supposed to crack down, but he had the backup DN last time. This time he has a starter who blows up into the backfield. Josh Allen, he makes, with Josh Allen and Mason Smith, 94, instantly penetrating. It just really takes this play out of the way. Chosen and Julian Hill are asked to do tough plays here. From that instant penetration, and then the DB fills, and they lose 5 yards instantly on first down. The second down, which I'm not going to show, was just another play call where they tried to do play action roll to the right. Tua had to dump it off quickly. They lost another couple yards. And this one was just bad play by Tua, bad play by the O-line across the board. Can't have this. This is a third and very, very long. You're at the already kind of edge of field goal range anyways. This would have been a time to call a screen. I don't know why this was the time he didn't call a screen, or just a quick pass in general. Like, I don't know. And there wasn't really many quick options. The only really quick option was Berrios, but this guy was kind of going to float in that throwing lane, so Tua came off of it. No one else was really anything like where he could go with the ball quickly. I don't really understand the kind of concept we're calling here. And then because they drop a D-line, they only bring in 3. You cannot get sacked this quickly when they bring 3. They gave up way too much pressure too quickly off the edges, like on Armstead's side and Austin Jackson's side. They both got beat. Tua tries to spin out of it, but he got tripped up as he was spinning, and they lost so many yards, taken out of field goal range. Another situation, you can't take the sack in the situation of your Tua. So just situations where they can improve upon. I know they can be better, but these are just things to notice. Be like, man, they left points on the board again. They also had a drive, where they didn't score the field goal, that type of thing. And here it is again, just another fake zone read. Play action. This one really sells like the RPO action of it. I love all the different play actions they did with the fake tosses, like all the concepts they actually run. This one really sold zone read with how Tua was selling it and like his footwork in the pocket, because we've done this where he does that and then he opens up his hips to completely the other side of the field and then quick releases it. If you watched Jaguars, last time it was versus cover 2, they had the big play. This is cover 1 robber again, which Tua loves to throw to that first read. He probably could have thrown this to Waddle, but it wasn't super open. The robber was really trying to play this. And look at the safety, too, because the safety is playing to this side of the field where Tiger ends up scoring. He comes off it. Tua resets. Great job by the O-line, too, because with how hard they sell play action, it really helps out the O-line versus this very good D-line. Everything gets blocked up pretty well there. They strain, they fight for all that. And then Tua resets, stays patient. Good job with his eyes. Tyreek's able to cross the face. Really good throw, accurate. And then Tyreek, just insane explosiveness across the board. Like, he scores there, which is huge. Most players aren't. Love this from Tua. Love him getting to his second read. Staying a little more patient. I feel like people always talk about Tua struggling to get to his second read. I don't think it was like struggling from a mental standpoint. It was struggling to like, because he thought the O-line wasn't going to give him time, and he's like, I got to get rid of the ball. That's what the play asked for. But now this is the next evolution in the offense. Like, you can still throw this, and it will still be thrown at times, like those quick hitters. But now the defenses have to respect, like, look what the Jaguars even said before the game. If you take Tua off his first read, like, that's how you slow down their offense. Dolphins, there was the two biggest plays in the game were Tua coming off his first read and having a little bit of time because the offensive line was able to hold up. So just really good stuff. More big plays. That was obviously a huge one. That was after the Javon Holland forced fumble. Huge shout out. Another example here with they sort of fake the dive and then fake the toss. I love this. I love adding this sort of the fake dive, fake toss, because they're already faking the dive to the toss. So it already has the element of play action to win the toss. But now having the play action with that, it makes it very difficult, I think, on the defensive line to pass rush. It slows them down long enough. Tua takes a long drop, release, good anticipation here to this side of the field. Looks like the Jags are running like cover 2 to this side of the field. This is the flat defender. This guy's, deep safety, and he's trying to hit you through. Between this triangle of defenders, he's going to sit you down. Tua and Hill just being on the same page. Really good throw, anticipation, and great job by Tyreek holding on to this. Taking that hit too. Very, very beautiful all around the board from the concept. Just being able to get down the field like this stuff. Love the timing. Love everyone being on the same page. And I love when the Dolphins are able to push the ball down the field. And then after this is where things started to change. I feel like the running game started to pick up. Dolphins started getting downhill. Like, they ran a lot of tosses. They started finding some plays with some success, picking up like 6-7 yards. But it was still a lot of like not big gains. They weren't getting much. They started playing power football. The Jags defensive line started being tired. Dolphins O-line came out, started bullying them a bit. Great job across the board. They started running, some gap scheme stuff. Jeff Wilson is a much better runner between like A and B gap than he is getting to the outside. So they utilized his best skill set. As I've talked about, like, this is why Jeff Wilson's on the roster. He was going to have, like, last year versus the Cowboys, he had a closeout like this. He did it already in week 1. That's what I was talking about. Like, that's why he's active over Jalen Wright early. Wright will take over eventually over him. But these are like the type of plays where you can trust Wilson on. A good job, like, from everyone pretty much across the board. Down blocking here. Brewer and Eichenberg do their job. And then across the board, look at Jackson and Hill here. Jackson and Hill bully Walker. And then Jackson's able to then take on Aluakon. And then Hill takes on Walker. And then look at the pull. Jones takes on Devin Lloyd. And the whole able to kick him out. Just beautiful, beautiful work from everyone. And Jeff Wilson's able to get up the field, pick up a nice first down, pick up a nice gain. Love seeing that bully ball. I feel like, in my opinion, Julian Hill was probably the best tight end of the bunch. Jonnu Smith, Durham Smythe, they both had drops, mistakes. Now, Jonnu, I still think, will be a bigger part of the offense. Hopefully, he can get some comfortability. But it was a real rough game for Smythe. And then Hill was able to make some plays. And then just more effective runs. Same stuff, more pulling with Robert Jones, down blocking here, down blocking across. Everyone kind of does their job. Eichenberg ends up on the ground, unfortunately, but he's able to work off the block, at least hold on to it long enough. Great job here from this side of the ball with Austin Jackson, Durham Smythe. Ingold kind of kicks someone out too, and they pick up just another 5-6 yard pop. These plays were so big. Then they get 3rd and 1. This was the Dolphins ran the ball well on 3rd and 4th and short situations and was always running the ball. So great adjustment from Mike McDaniel. Even though I didn't agree with a lot of his play calling in this game, I feel like they went away from some things that they usually do very well. I understood because of what the Jaguars were doing defensively that he did that type of thing with the passing game. But here's just Ingold getting downhill. Space worked up, blocked up pretty well here. Blocked up pretty well here. All we need is 1 yard. Ingold meets the guy like 2 yards down the field. Love how hard Ingold's running. They were able to convert that stuff. And then that was like the drive where they ended up tying the game. With those converts. They also had like a holding penalty here ruined the drive from the Tyreek Hill stuff, which was unfortunate. He had a holding penalty on a big run from Jeff Wilson. But here's the game-winning drive to Tua. It's the play action. Love this. Dolphins, everyone loses their mind when Lamar did this last year where he opened up to one side. Dolphins have been running this for years now. Tua is one of the few quarterbacks in the league that can do this consistently with really good footwork. Where he opens up to the right, gets back. It also, with the play action, it really slows down the Jaguars' defensive line. This is a big reason why the Dolphins aren't worried much about the O-line as like the fans, is because how they can schematically scheme up clean pockets. Now, we want to see better run blocking, but they did show it towards the end of the game, so some signs of life there from the O-line. I don't think they were as bad as people thought. And then Waddle, one-on-one at the bottom. This guy has hard inside leverage here. Waddle gives you a hard outside release, gets guys to open up, gets back on the inside, right there. Doesn't have really any separation, but he's able to at least get in that inside path. And Tua delivers a perfect ball, and Waddle makes a great catch in traffic. Loved how Waddle caught the ball in tough situations, especially that one. That was the biggest passing play, in my opinion, of the drive that closed it out, and then they kind of were able to screen and then run it to get in field goal range. This was a good screen, in my opinion. I didn't really like a lot of the screens. This was like a 2nd and 10 situation, basically. The first run went for nothing. I liked this one because you haven't been running as many screens lately. The running game has been more successful. You just had a successful pass, and the Jags D-line, you can tell, is gassed. They've been chasing screens around all day. They've been shutting down the run, trying to get after Tua in the pocket. This one, after, you have the running back work out to the right like this, throw the screen back to the left, the tunnel screen stuff. Achane's able to get upfield, pick up, I think it's another 3rd and short, like a 3rd and inches situation, almost picks up the first down. I think this was the play Achane kind of slightly limped off the field after and didn't come in, so hopefully he's good. We don't really have any information on that, but I like the screen call because of how tired the D-line is. Look at them, they're not playing full speed anymore. And then another fullback dive to close it, angle to get downhill. Good job down blocking, everyone creates that space. Loved playing some bully ball, man. Dolphins were able to bully it, and that's the last play I'm going to show because, after this, it was just like a 1-yard run, a 2-yard run, and then the game-winning field goal. So great job from the Dolphins offense overall to close in those tough situations. I think they had some really rough plays, things they definitely need to work on, but there were some very good positives to also take away. For them having a bad game, Tyreek and Waddle still both had over 100 yards. Tua still has the most passing yards out of any quarterback in week 1. And it wasn't their best games by far. So I think the best is still to come. And I actually like that usually September they kind of roll through teams. I actually like that they needed some more adversity. This is even different adversity the Chargers game because last year the Chargers game, the offense had to carry. This one I feel like the defense kind of carried. And then the defense closed out. This one, the offense closed out with the defensive carrying. It was kind of the complete opposite of the Chargers game. And they had to have more of a comeback. The Chargers game was pretty back and forth. This one was they were down by 14 at one point. Very, very impressed. Left some points on the board. The Jags could have definitely put up more points too. Because, they left some points too. They had some drops. And obviously that fumble, great play by Holland. But yeah, shout out the team. Really enjoy this. I'll have a stream later up. Defensive film break to tomorrow. And then I'll get some individual players before the Bills game on Wednesday. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.